We have is a theatre which has different rows. Okay, so you have row 1, row 2, row 3. In row 1 there's 28, in row 2 there's 29, in row 3 there's 30. Because it goes up by the same amount each side, it's considered an arithmetic sequence. Okay? Now you can count all the way up to 10 if you want. So 31 would be 4, 32 would be 5, 33 would be 6, 34 will be 7, 35 will be 8, 36 will be 9, and 37 will be 10. You're okay to do that if you want. That's one method, no bother. Okay, next thing. Because it's an arithmetic sequence, there's a formula for the number of terms. So the formula is Tn equals A plus n minus 1 times D. A is your original amount. So what's our original amount in this question? 28. D is the amount each one goes up by. So D is 1 because it goes up 1 each time. And then you multiply in 1. So you're going to get 28 plus n take away 1. And then you're going to get 27 plus n. Now this formula down here, the Tn equals 27 plus n. This will tell you any term you're looking for. If we were looking for the, let's say, for example, the 10th row, what could I put in here? The 10th row would be T10, and it would be 27 plus 10, which is 37, which is the answer to the first question, correct? My question to you guys is, am I looking for T50 or am I looking for Tn equals 50? Which one is it? I'm looking for T50 or Tn equals 50. Alright, how can you tell the difference?
T50 is the 50th term.
Yeah. T50 would be how many seats are there in the 50th row, while Tn equals 50 would be which row has 50 seats. Okay, so we're going to do Tn equals 50. So we're going to have 27 plus n equals 50. And what do you think n is going to be equal to?
23.
23. So that's the same thing as yesterday. Okay, I'll pause there. Any questions? Find the total number of seats in the theatre. We're told there's 50 seats in the last row. This means that there is how many rows in the full building? What? No, there's 50 seats in the last row. There's 23 rows. N equals 23. Now you could add 20, what's the first one again? 27 or 28? 28. You could add 28 plus 29 plus dot dot dot. What's it then? It's going to be 47 plus 48 plus 49 plus 50. That's a lot of adding, isn't it? Your calculator, that's a lot of writing. You have to write 28 all the way up to 50 and add them together. There's a quicker way. I'd like you to focus on not doing this in your calculator, because there'll be some questions I've seen in the past where doing on your calculator could take 15 minutes. Okay, you don't want to do that. So here's what you want to do instead. Instead of the Tn formula, there's a second formula that will help you out. Can anybody tell me what the second formula could be? Sn. I'm going to get the generic Sn formula first. Sn is n over 2 into 2a plus times d. What Sn tells you is the total of each term added together. So for example, if I go back up to the top here, can anybody tell me if I was to rewrite this again, so it's 28, what's it, 28, 29, 30. Can anybody in the class tell me quickly, what would S1 be? S1. What's the answer for S1? The answer for S1 is 28. S1 is the same as T1. Can anybody give me the answer for S2? T1 plus T2, which would be 28 plus 29, which would be. So what it's doing is it's adding all the T's together. Do you get that? So what we're going to do is we have to add. We're basically looking for our Sn here, okay? So here's what we're going to do. N over 2. What's 2 times A? Our starting value. A is 28. So 2 times 28? 56. That's a 1 for D. So it's going to be plus n minus 1. Now, It's n over 2 into 56 take away 1. I will do that in a second. I know I did that yesterday. I just want to show you something else before I do that. It's going to be 55 and plus n. Does everybody see this formula I'm just after creating down here? Everybody see that formula there? If I put that into my table function, and instead of using n, what should I use instead? I'm going to use x. So it's going to be x over 2. And let me show you what this does. Does anybody know what this will do? It'll tell you what S1, S2, S3, S4, all the S's are, and you can check your answer really quickly. Start at 1, let's say end at, I don't know, 20. Look at this, guys. What did we say S1 was again? 28 is in the first row. What's 28 plus 29? There you go, 57 for S2. And then the third one is add on another 30, isn't it? So you can tell that this works straight away. Okay, so you can tell all the rows, how much rows will contain what number. 7 rows will contain 217 people. 15 rows will contain 525 people. You have all the information in the world just by getting that formula. Now the lads are right. We know the n value, don't we? What's the n value? 23. So it's going to be 23 over 2 multiplied by 55 plus 23. We did that yesterday. Put it into the calculator. What do we get? 897? Cool. I'll start at 20 and end at 25 for a minute. And you'll see that 23 should give me the right answer. There it is. 897. Yes, sir?
Is there any way you can lose marks for not using the SN formula?
Yes. Very much so. Learn how to use the SN formula.
Like?
If you were to add them all, if you were to have the chance to add them all up, and you had the time, so if I was in an exam and I didn't like that question, I'd skip it, do the rest of the exam, and if I had enough time at the end, if I wasn't comfortable with the SN formula, I'd take out my calculator and add them all together. Okay. However, if I was stuck for time, I'd do the SN formula.
It doesn't really take that long, like less than a minute.
Now lads, what we have in the next one is, we still have our SN formula, don't we? Or n over 2 into, what's it, 55 plus n, was it? Oh, sorry, 56 plus n. Remember, this formula is in your table, so it's easy to find and it's in your tables. Okay, so 56 plus n, correct? Now, they said there's 600 people at the show. So what can I do here, guys? How many are 600 in? Okay, it's somewhere between 10 and 20. Let's find out. Now, for high marks or even full marks, see the way it's in between. It's 16 and 17 rows. Would you agree with that? You can do this for partial marks. Okay. What you could do is you could do trial and error, where you keep putting in numbers. So, example: imagine I put in 16 for this. And I said the answer for 16 is, I have it here. The answer for 16 is 568. And then I've tried 7 in afterwards. And 56 plus 7 in. And then put it in there. And what's my answer? 612. Okay, this is probably the best way to do this one. Now, I reckon I have the first 16 rows are full, aren't they? Would you agree with that? So I reckon the first 16 full rows. And how many people in the 17th row? 600 take away 568. 32 people in the 17th row. So I better put down the word people. So do you see the way having the formula really set up that full question? You could find exactly where your number crossed over 600 and you could figure out what you needed to do. Otherwise, you can just do trial and error. Keep throwing numbers in. Get a rough guideline of where it turns from 500 to 600, and then you can do it out that way. This is the best way to do this question, as it turns out. Yes, sir?
Where did you get the 6?
Sorry, guys. As it turns out, I had 55 plus x, so I'm just going to go over this one more time. Oh, wait.
It's 55 because you...
It is 55, isn't it?
Yeah, because you minus the 1 first.
Oh, sorry, it is 55. Sorry, my fault. So, this is 55 and not 56, my fault. And when you put it into the calculator, sorry, one more time, it's 55 plus x. We had it checked earlier on, didn't we? That it matched up with all the numbers earlier on, so we knew we were correct at the time. If you go through these numbers, Bill, 10 rows have 325 people. Then you can look at 16 rows has 568. 568 is the closest to 600. That's underneath 600. So that's why I threw in 16. So I threw 16 into my formula to show that I worked out that for 16 rows there's 568 people. And then I threw in 17 to show that in 17 rows there's 612 people. So in order to house 600 people, which would be in between, you need 16 full rows and 32 people in the 17th row. Is that alright, guys? Any questions? We good? Yes, sir. For a particular show, adult tickets cost €25 each and children's tickets cost €12 each. Find the total income if there was 276 adult sales and 312 children's tickets. Does any of the previous questions affect your ability to do this? They don't, so please be aware. Just because you can't do C and D, they're doing this a lot recently where they want to hand you out another 5 10 marks at the end of the question. So what they're doing is they say if you read A and read it really closely, you realise that you don't need anything from the previous question. So it's basically 25 times 25 times 276 plus 212 times 12, and what you get?
6,900 plus.
Just the total will do me nicely.
9,444.
9,444. Yeah. That confirmed? Yeah. Okay. There you go, guys. Happy enough? Alright. Next question. Oh, here. There's another part. For a different show, 742 tickets were sold. The ratio of tickets sold to children's tickets is 3:1. So, 3:1 means that the adults, if you add them together, add 3 plus 1 together, 4. The children are 3/4 of your population. The adults are 3/4 of your population, and the children are 1/4 of your population. So what's 1/4 of 752?
Can you use the percentile thing and just do 75% to 700?
Yeah, same thing. 188. So 3/4 of 752 is 100 and... So that's 188.
564.
And that's 564. Happy enough with that? Yeah? Good? Okay. For the show referred to in part 1, an adult ticket cost 2.5 times as much as a child ticket. The income was 17,578. Find the cost of the children's ticket for the show. Alright, this is the classic old, lads, everybody paying quick attention here. This is the old thing that where you're looking for the price of something. You don't know what it is, so you have to think of a letter. Okay? So what you want the cost of the children's ticket to be? X. What does the cost of the adult's ticket have to be then? If it's 2.5 times bigger. 2.5x or 2.5x. Now think about how you calculate your money. It's the number of adults multiplied by the cost of one adult ticket. What's the cost of one adult ticket?
25 euros.
Sorry, that's in the old question. In the new question, it's 2.5x. 2.5 times the children's amount. add it on to the number of children multiplied by the cost of the children's ticket, which will be X. This gives you the amount of money your show brought in. How much money did your show bring in? 70,578. So 564 multiplied by 2.5 is 1,410x plus 188x equals this 17,578 business. Gonna add the two of them together. So what am I adding? 14, 110 plus 188. 1596. Sorry, 1598x equals your 17,578. Divide it. So your 17,578. What is it? 11. Okay. So this means that your children's ticket costs 11. X equals 11. So children's ticket costs 11. 2.5 times that would be your adult's ticket will cost 27.5. So adult would be adult price would be €27.50. Difficult question. Like those questions. Now, guys, with this type of question, okay, it's going to be a random situation each time. It could be something like, it could be like speed, distance, and time. Okay, I'm giving you a wee hint here, so you should probably stay clued in. If I gave you a, we're just going to ignore this question for a minute. Okay, and now, guys, with a cubic equation, there's usually either goes up and down. There's usually a max and a min. Everybody get that? Or there's a minimum followed by a maximum. I don't know which one it is. Is everybody cool with that? Now, what I can do, however, is look at this. Okay. The amount of improper units of a certain medical drug in the bloodstream T hours after it's been taken is estimated by the following function. C tells you how much units of drug there are in your system. T is the amount of hours that the drug is in your system. Lucky for us, we once again have the table function. And instead of T's, what can I do? I can use X's. And straight away, I can figure out the full gist of the question quite quickly. Okay, so look at this. And this is going to tell me everything I need to know about the question. 0 to 9, yeah? Look at this. 0 hours in your system, there's no drugs in your system because they're not there yet. After 1 hour, 57.5. After 4 hours, 224. They want us to show that after 4 hours, there's 224 units. Replace all T's with what? But it tells us what the X value is. What's the X value? No, that's the C value. That's how much drugs there are in your system. We want the time value. So you put in 4s here. And when you put that into your calculator, you get 224. Now guys, look at this. All I have to do is transcribe what I have here into the table. So what's a 118? 175.5. Easy marks here, easy money for 10 marks. 257.5. 6 is 6 is 270 and 255.5. Do you notice the drugs are going down now? Do you notice the amount of drugs are going down? And lads, do you notice that the amount of drugs is starting to drop now?
Yeah.
What does that indicate has just happened? Indicates you're just after going through a maximum. You had a greatest amount and you're just starting to drop. Okay? 121.5. Everybody happy with those numbers? Now, just because this looks like your max doesn't mean It is your max. Can anybody in the class suggest a way where we could almost get a microscope on it and see if it is exactly the max or not? There's a technique I showed you recently. I'm going to zoom in between 5 and 7. See 5 to 7? I'm going to zoom in there, right? And here's how I'm going to zoom. Okay? I'm going to do 5. I'm going to end at 7. But what can I do to my step? 0.5 or 0.1 even. And look at this. We'll have a really fine look at it. Where is the maximum? Keep looking. Still going up, isn't it? 6. Oh, as it turns out, it is 6 on the money, isn't it? 6 on the money is the maximum. Okay? Now that won't get you full marks. You're gonna have to differentiate to show it. But you definitely know that the maximum is gonna be 6, okay? Now let's skip over the next part. We're gonna draw this. Will some of you give me my numbers for this, please? Just need a bit of help.
57.5 plus 0.
Okay, so 0, 0, yeah.
57.5 is 1.
Okay, sorry, just still struggling to fit this in here. Still struggling to fit it. There we are. Okay, go for it. 57.5?
Yeah.
What's the middle of 50 and 75?
That's for 1. It's for 1.
Oh, for what? Oh, so 0, 0. What's in between 50 and 75?
25.
25, so half of it will be 12.5, so that's 62.5. I reckon I should be slightly below 62.5. So around here. Okay. Next one, 2, what? 2, what's for 2? 118? 2, 125, so just underneath 125, so around here-ish. You're just doing roughly. Next one, 3.
175.5.
Yeah, so that's pretty much on the money. 4.
224.
224, very close to 225. 5.
257.5.
So just under halfway. Yeah. Next one.
270.
270.
Yeah.
Just about there, yeah.
255.5.
Around there, yeah.
208.
208. Good job. Around there. Next.
121.5. 121.5.
Just under 125. Good. Next. Alright. I'm not great at this with this drawing kit I have, but you should probably try and draw a curve then. As best you can. Okay, so as you can see I'm struggling, but yeah, you can do something like that. Is that okay? Now, what's next? Is everybody happy with the curve? Just drawn slightly better, yeah, and one go is much better. Okay, now let's have a look at the next page. Use your graph to estimate the following values. The amount of drug in the bloodstream after 3.5 hours. How'd you do that? 3.5, then what? Straight up, straight across. What did you guys get? I'm probably slightly off. What? You're getting below 200?
Just below 200.
Anybody else getting 200 or just below? When you draw straight up and straight across? Come on guys, help me out.
292.
Okay, so what I've been told is somewhere in the, give it exact number, so some people are saying 190, some people are saying 200. Depends on if there's a slight wobble in your graph or not. Both answers should pick you up full marks. How long after drug will be the amount of blood in the drug stream be 100 units? 100 units, okay, let's see, 100 units. So where's 100 units on the axis? Down here, isn't it?
82 hours.
Just under 2 hours. So what you reckon, 1.8, 1.9 hours?
Yeah.
Will that do it?
Yeah.
1.8, 1.9 hours. So 1.8 or 1.9 hours. Okay. Now, find the rate at which the drug is changing after 4 hours. The rate. The word rate implies differentiation. The word rate implies slope at t equals 4. Yes, sir.
Is the question.
Oh, did I? Is there a part 1?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Give me a sec. Oh, wait. On a roll now. Okay. Yeah, give us a sec. Now guys, when you're talking about rates, you're talking about the slope of the graph. See the way it's increasing at the beginning. Your drug count is increasing, then it stops increasing, and then it decreases. It's all related to the slope of the graph. In differentiation, the first derivative is always the slope. Do you got it? So differentiate once to get a formula for the slope. So we're going to do, you can do C dash T to indicate that you've differentiated once, or you can just say the slope equals. So T cubed, anybody, what does it differentiate into? 3T squared. 2 times 4.5? 9T. And then 54. Okay. Now, what we're going to do next with this is we're going to be doing part 2, which is find the amount the drug is changing after 4 hours. So, it means plug in T equals 4. So for part 2, plug in T equals 4. So it's going to be minus 3 times 4 squared plus 9 times 4 plus 54. Now that's going to be 36 plus 54, which is 90. 90 take away 48. 90 take away 48 is 42. This means that in this point of time, your drug is increasing at 42 units per hour. And if you go back to your graph in 4 hours, I'll come back to it in a second. See, after 4 hours, what's happening? You're on your way. You're on your way up. It's increasing at 42 units per hour. It's on its way up. Okay? So that's that one there. So that's part 1 and part 2. It's on its way upwards. Everybody cool? Next question. Okay.
It's 42 and off. Okay.
42 units per hour. Yeah. Now, use your answer in EI to find the maximum amount of the blood in the bloodstream after the first 9 hours. What happens when you're at your maximum? There's no more increase. Would you agree with that? I would say that your slope equals 0. Would you agree with that? I'd go back to my formula. What was my formula again? It was minus 3t squared plus 9t plus 54. That all equals 0. You're going to find the t value that causes it to be 0. What t value are we expecting again? When is the maximum? 6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what I do is I first of all multiply both sides by minus to get a plus t. You can do the minus b formula if you want. I want something a bit quicker. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So you're going to get t squared minus 3t minus 18 equals 0. I'm then going to get t minus 6 and t plus 3 equal to 0 when I factorize this quadratic. 2 numbers to add to give you minus 3, but multiply to give you minus 18. You can do the minus b if you want. And then finally we're going to get t equals 6 or t equals minus 3. Which answer did we say it was again?
6.
T equals 6. Use your answer in E part 1 to show that the drug amount in the bloodstream is decreasing 7 hours after the drug has been taken. Explain your reason. What does decreasing mean? What value for slope?
Negative.
Means negative slope. Yes, sir. The reason why the slope is 0, guys, is because it's a maximum. At a turning point, the slope is always 0. Whether it's your maximum or your minimum, the slope is always 0 because it's not increasing nor decreasing. Okay, guys. Next question. Decreasing means you're on your way down. It means that your graph is on its way down. It means it has a negative slope. I have to prove that the slope is negative. The slope formula is the first derivative. The first derivative is this here. And what I'm hoping is that when I put in 7, I'll get a negative slope. Let's find out. So if somebody's quick on the calculator, that'll be awesome. Put that into the calculator. Let me know. We're expecting a negative answer. Was it? So it's a decrease of minus 30 units per hour. Your drug in your system is decreasing as time goes on.